It truly is remarkable to see the levels of disappointment that the society and the degeneracy within the society can bring me to. It's like I look out into the world and I see all of the people that are just choosing terrible paths, and it's like I want to be able to show them a different way, but it's almost impossible to help some of these people because they don't want to be helped. And so I try to be as nurturing as I can. I try to be as encouraging as I can because I want to treat people with respect and dignity and to be cordial. However, at the same time, I still have that fire in my belly. And if you cross the line, I'm going to let you know. And I will not tolerate anybody crossing those lines because I believe that it's powerful to stand for something that you believe in. And I think that if you have something to stand for, it's better than to be just drifting in the wind, like just drifting like a kite in the wind, floating away with no direction whatsoever. And so this video today, I know the title may be triggering to some people. However, I do want to talk about why a man wants a woman's willing soul and desire and not any leftovers. So, I first want to address something from Hebrews 12:1. It says, "Wherefore, seeing we also are compassed about with so great a cloud of witnesses, let us lay aside every weight and the sin which doth so easily beset us, and let us run with patience the race that is set before us." So what exactly does that mean? What does that mean to flee and to let us lay aside every weight and the sin which doth easily beset us? When a man that is evil wants a woman's soul, he will do anything and everything to manipulate her and to destroy her self-esteem, to not build her up, to really treat her as if she is only worth something by giving sexual pleasure to others. That's what a pimp does, right? That's what a pimp does. And so a man that wants a woman's willing soul is a lot different. Think about this. Think about Wesley in Princess Bride. Wesley fights through the sword fight with Inigo Montoya. He goes through the strongest man, the giant, and then finally he has the battle of wits, all in order to save Buttercup. Now, Buttercup is blindfolded throughout the entire process. She's tied up and she's trapped in herself, right? She's just trapped. And so it is the man that fights through all of these obstacles that is able to finally, after the battle of wits, he unfolds, he lifts the blindfold off of her and releases her from her bonds. And that's a great symbolization of what actually happens with a true masculine, valuable man. Because what exactly does that symbolize? It symbolizes that the man who wants a woman's willing soul and genuine, burning, visceral desire is going to give her vision, is going to set her free, is going to provide and protect her in any way that he can. And he will go to the ends of the earth to do so, if he really wants to. And so what's so amazing to me is that modern men and modern women just don't get this about each other. but the real men and the real women do. And the righteous men, the godly men, a lot of them are checking out of just the whole dating game, right? They're just checking out. And a lot of the others are just, I hate to say it because I don't like to say this, but that's the pumping and dumping, right? I really don't like that term, but that's what the society calls it. And I don't like that. I don't like us treating sex with such disregard and disempowerment of the soul. I don't like that at all. And so righteous men want women to prove them wrong. That's what this is coming down to. Because the men of value, the men at least have something of value to offer, did not work this hard to get to where they are today, to just give what they have over to some bimbo who has been around with every guy in town. You know, she's opening up that pink palace to anybody that wants to take a tour. And that's just not right, in my opinion. That's just not okay. And so women are also abandoning the whole idea of family. They're abandoning the whole wanting of family. And it's all because of society brainwashing them into believe that it's more empowering to have a career and money and bags and cars and material things than a family. You know, I overheard a conversation at the gym the other day. These two ladies, they were in their late 20s. Definitely not in their early 20s, but they could have been in their early 30s. And they were talking about how they're just not ready to start a family yet. And every guy that goes out with them, they either really don't like or they just like them too much. And it's just so chaotic, that energy, right? There's just no stability there. And who knows how many dates they're going on with certain guys, and who knows where they're finding these guys that want to even go out with them in the first place. But I think a lot of the times it's crazy to see how not even remotely are women talking about wanting to find a guy to start a family with anymore. They're not talking about it. And you know, women want to be viewed objectively nowadays. They wear scandalous things and they dress as if, you know, they're on the next they're on the next show in Vegas, just going to the grocery store. And they want to be treated as if they're potentially going to be a wife. And yet they want to also be treated as if they're going to be held to no accountability in the relationships at all. Men of value will not tolerate that kind of stuff. Men of value will say, well, if you don't like it, there's the door. These are the stipulations of the relationship, because in my world, you're on my time, and in my world, I'm going to be the leader. Have you ever noticed that a lot of the times the women that want a man's soul and that's dominating the man, the relationships don't really work out, or the man is severely emasculated and demoralized and dehumanized by the woman? Because guess what? If you give the woman an opportunity to demoralize you, she will do so. And it's not like it's just in her nature, because this is in a woman's nature to test men. But too many of that, like too much of that, too many shit tests, too many tests like that, and the guy's going to be like, see ya. See you later. Like in the Bible verse, I will lay aside that weight. You are a headache, and you are a weight that I do not need to carry. Have you ever gone to squat at the gym or do any kind of lifting of the sort, and you put on a plate, you put on another plate, you put on another plate over here, and then you go to lift it and you can't really lift it? Because when it's time to perform, you can't get the job done. That's what it's like when you keep putting on all of these bodies. When you keep being promiscuous and you keep taking whatever flings your way, if you keep the doors open at the Pink Palace, ladies, you're not going to be able to perform later down the line in a relationship. And this is what's so crazy too, is a lot of the times the women think that they can just stop being promiscuous one day. It's like they'll just wake up and just, oh, I want a man now. It's like, all right, I'm ready. Come get me. What? Like, yeah, you may be attractive still, but what? Like, no. You're going to ruin everything that I tried to build. It's like trying to tell somebody that's been playing video games every day or eating a certain way, having a certain kind of lifestyle. It's like telling somebody that spends money like a habit to suddenly stop spending money one day. They're not going to be able to do it. It's going to be very challenging and difficult for them to do that. They don't know how to save money. They don't know the repercussions of financial instability. They don't know that how much debt they have. Like, this person can be so far into debt with their credit or anything like that, and on the surface it looks like they're doing really well. But they still owe a lot of money. And it's going to take a lot of time to repay that price that they paid back. And so just like the person with a certain kind of lifestyle, if you tell somebody that's playing video games every day to suddenly stop playing video games, it's going to be very difficult. If you tell somebody that's been eating pizza for 10 years to stop eating pizza right away, it's going to be very difficult. Why? Because you've accumulated a certain kind of habit. And so just like how anything is in any part of life, how you do one thing is going to be how you do many other different things. That's how the saying goes, right? And so a lot of the times that people want to keep up this image, but they don't really ask themselves, why am I dealing with these kinds of people? Why am I actually dealing with that person? Why am I actually dealing with those people that don't really want what's best for me? And so a man of value, a man of God, will actually want a woman's willing soul and not just her soul. Because that's what we learned with Wesley. He defeats the evil that wants to just take her soul, and instead Wesley wants her to give him the willing soul. Because when a man is able to obtain a woman's willing soul, she gets provided for, she gets protected, she gets placed in her feminine, and she gets much happier, she gets a lot more sophisticated, and she's much more overall enjoying her life. And I know it because I've seen it. Have you seen a lot of these masculine women? The modern women? The modern men that are so feminine that you wouldn't even know that they were men? It's like, my goodness, brother, like you got some emotional development to do. And that's half the battle. And this is something else I've noticed with the modern women, is that they're intimidated by a man that has emotional intelligence. They're intimidated by a man that has emotional intelligence. I'll say it again. They're intimidated by a man that has emotional intelligence. Why? Because the man that understands his joy comes from gratitude is going to be down to earth, is going to be humble, is going to be understanding of the finer things in life, and is not going to take advantage of people. The person that thinks, which is the emotionally immature, the person that thinks that their pleasure comes from impulse and satisfying the impulse and not delayed gratification, those are the most unhappy people on the planet, which is about all of the modern men and modern women, because they cannot control their impulses. They do not know what it's like to have delayed gratification. And a lot of the times they just want to pose to be better off than they really are. So with that being said, I hope this message was useful and insightful. And until next time, peace be with you.